Well, Dr. Uni Krishnan is Head of Disaster Emergencies at the organisation Plan International. We're also joined tonight by Lisa Denny, who's a research fellow at the Overseas Development Institute, who's just come back from Western Africa. And it's great to have you both on the programme tonight. Lisa, let's get your personal experiences, because you have been in Sierra Leone in June of this year, just a couple of months ago. I mean, what did you see there? Just how bad was it?
Well, the outbreak at that point had started in Guinea, but not yet in Sierra Leone in the way that it is now. There were just a few reported cases at that point. And certainly there were public health warnings that were about. So people were being told not to eat bats or monkeys, and certainly not to eat mangoes that had fallen from trees where bats might have eaten them. So there was certainly an awareness of the disease, but it hadn't quite reached current levels.
And now over 700 people, or nearly 700 people, we were told have been killed, I should say. An incredibly deadly and infectious disease, isn't it? And one which we think doctors in Africa are struggling to contain.
That's right, and I think you have to remember that where the disease is centred in Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia, these are three of the poorest, most fragile countries in the world with weak health systems, and so trying to respond to such an outbreak is incredibly challenging.
Uni, how concerned are you about the spread of this virus internationally?
Right. To begin with, let's get this idea. This outbreak started or was confirmed from March, in March, and it has been spreading steadily across the region. 3 countries badly impacted, and the 4th country, the first case was confirmed during the weekend. So unlike the past outbreaks, this disease has been spreading, and the outbreak has been spreading from one country to other countries.
So it hasn't died down, and it's crossed borders, and it's not been contained, which is why the British government are now issuing this
Absolutely,
warning.
and it is not showing any signs of actually slowing down, which is more worrying.
Right,
That's
so internationally it could spread. How concerned are you by that?
We are extremely concerned. First of all, to begin with, the locations where it is already unfolded and resulted in quite a number of deaths, and it's a very deadly disease which spreads very quickly. Unfortunately, no medicines are there, and there is no vaccine. At the same time, preventing the spread of the disease is no rocket science. As Lisa correctly said, that the weak health systems, which is struggling to cope, which was already struggling to cope, and this outbreak has added extra pressure on them, plus the movements of people across borders. So that's what has been. Plus, there's also a lot of rumors which is floating around. That's where public communication and the role which the media could play is very crucial. So
Lisa, what do you think could be done, or what should be done to control the spread of this virus in Africa? Because, of course, that's where the problem is, and that's where there's not much resource or money, is there?
Well, I mean, I would leave it to Uni to discuss on the medical side, but more broadly, the research that I've been doing with the Overseas Development Institute is about, in the longer term, strengthening healthcare systems so that they're more able to respond to these kinds of outbreaks in future. You know, this isn't the first disease outbreak that these countries have had to deal with. There was a cholera outbreak in 2012 that also killed 400 people. So in order to be able to prevent these illnesses in future, it's about that longer term, not just the humanitarian response, but longer term development response to strengthen local systems.
The British public might be watching this thinking, could we be at risk here in the UK? Could an epidemic hit the UK?
Yeah, the government has already made a statement that we must be concerned and we must be taking precautions. So the approach is correct. That is advanced planning and preparedness.
So
that's important.
How would it compare to, for example, swine flu or other influenzas that we have been warned about, bird flu, for example, that, you know, there has been an element of scaremongering along those lines too. How concerned are you about that?
So that's where scientific and information from the right sources, like the minister and the NHS going out to the public, is very crucial, because a credible information at the right time goes a long way in containing the rumor as well as taking preparedness and precautionary measures. At the same time, while long-term measures are absolutely crucial for the future, dealing with people who are infected right now and stopping the spread of the disease further within those countries and also across other countries is key, both in the best interest of the people in that region, UK, and the rest of the world. That's why we are actually plan is calling for a global coordinated action to stop the further spread.
We have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your thoughts, Uni Krishnan and Lisa Denny.